Hello there, folks. This quick video is going to show how to use the IsDeviceOnline function to display tags from a device that's connected. In this example here, I've actually got 3 Modbus TCP slaves. What's interesting about this is that all 3 of these slaves have the same IP address. However, each one of these slave devices is transporting different registers from each other. They're not all exactly the same. So I have a customer that's using some drive products from one company versus another, and depending on what site they're at, it could be drive A or it could be drive B, but each one of the drives will have the same IP address, but the registers that they transmit through will be differently depending on what drive that they're using. So this customer actually wants, whenever they plug into something, for the appropriate drive to show up. So if I look here at the database, I'll just show you what I have here. I have an edge controller here at IP address 21, and notice I've got some tags here going from 40,021 down to 40,030. That's in that device. The second device I have over is a CR3000 4-inch HMI. Again, notice the same IP address here. However, that guy is transmitting its data from register 124 to 133 in the holding registers. And then the third device I have is a DA30 unit. Again, notice the same IP address here. However, all of its tag data is going to show up in registers 231 to 240 here. Now, if I look at my master radio, which is going to be my, in this case, my 7-inch CR3000, I'm using Modbus TCP here as my driver. And then, and by the way, the IP address of this unit is number 37. And if I click on these devices, you can see that I had them before set up as different IP addresses. So I named them here, but now I've got them all the same. So if I click on this one, you see that I'm set to 21. If I click on this one, set to 21. And if I click on this one, I'm set to 21. The only big difference here between all 3 of these is that my ping holding register is set to a specific number within inside the device. So I do have this enabled to look at that specific value. So if I go over here to display pages, here's the display page. Oh, I'll show you tags. My tags are all the same. You can see that all of these are mapped to 21. Here's the one important thing I want to point out to you. The IsDeviceOnline function, if I click here on the data tab, that function, team, you have to put in here in the parentheses what number of the device you're talking to. So if you look here, this one says number 2 right here. If I go back to communications, and if I click on this one here, red line will tell you up in this area of the screen what device number, and then also down in the lower left-hand corner it'll show you some stuff too. So there's device 2, this one is device 3, and this one is device 4. So all the tags are doing that, and then this is from that unit. The next one's exactly the same, but look, this is number 3. And if I expand the other one, click here, this is number 4. Okay, so what the customer wants is, depending on what device is connected, they want the tags to show up for that device. So if I right-click on this grouping, go here to Properties, Display State, I'm asking the question here, is this tag online? If it is, then this will be displayed. If I go to this one, Properties, you'll see it's device 24, same one there. And if I go to this one, it should be device, let me look here. Oh, I was playing a couple of things. This field here, if I go to this field, there it is, device 31. I was trying to widgetize this. Anyway, so got that working. So if I go ahead and show you the web page here, here it is right now, and I don't have anything connected right now. So I have an Ethernet cable connected to my HMI, and it's going to a regular switch. And then I've got one coming to my laptop, which allows us to see live data here. And then if I plug in one of these devices, let me go ahead and plug in this one right here. Oops, let me pause that phone. So if I plug in the edge controller, let's see here. And by the way, I made it have a beep. So you can see immediately when I connect it, all of a sudden these devices show up. I'm not going to connect to any other devices because they all have the same IP address, and that goes against the thought of what the customer is trying to do. The rule is these would not, only one address of this would be connected at a time. So if I disconnect this guy, you can see that it's turned off, and if I go ahead and plug it back in, it shows up right away. Now, if I disconnect that cable and move that over to another device, say I go here to the DA30 unit here, and on that device, I do want you to notice, it's been plugged in right now, that it does take a while for our driver to eventually resync to this guy. So let's see how long this takes. It should populate with the values once the driver sees it. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but there it is, and that's that unit. Now here's what's interesting. Now that I've got that plugged in, if I disconnect it, you can see it goes off right away. Plug it back in, and it should come right up right away. Huh. Well, it should here in a second come back up here. There it goes. So you can see that it comes up right away. Now I did add, because of this, the customer's never going to be really connecting and reconnecting. It's just when they power up, they want to see the device. So what I did here, team, is I actually added the commit and reset function down here. So if I go ahead and hit the commit and reset the HMI here, I'll turn this on. When I turn this on, it'll actually reset the HMI. And I'm going to, before I do this, I'll plug into the CR3000 4-inch. I'm going to go ahead and hit the download here. And the HMI, this should go to an X here because it should go offline. Once the HMI reboots, it is loading up. And you can see right here, team, immediately it's starting to pull this device. So by using the commit and reset function, you can greatly increase the speed at which it picks up a device. So if I disconnect that one, plug it right back in, you can see it doesn't take any time. If I plug it back into something else, it won't see it right away. You gotta wait for a timeout, or if you go ahead and do one of these tricks, just reset the HMI through the commit and reset button. And once it comes back up, we'll see if the screen populates with our original Edge controller. And there you go. So that's an easy way to use the IsDeviceOnline function to show tags from a certain device. Hey, thanks a lot. Have a great day, folks.